Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It is episode 259 of Weather Weekly. Good to be with you, meteorologist Marcus Bailey from Indianapolis, Indiana, and Wish TV. Always appreciate you checking out the podcast here. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. Tell a friend. We do the forecast here a week in advance. And that's what we're looking at here, which we are flipping back to January. It's been very mild, really for a good many days here for the start of 2026. But we're back to some January cold. We started to feel that during the weekend, and I think we're going to get a few more surges coming our way this week. We're also going to be maybe dealing with a few snow chances here. Talk about if we see anything really significant in terms of accumulation. We haven't had kind of a decent snow accumulation in a while. All right, it's been almost a full month since we've, been getting slammed with some of those snows that we had back into December here. So we'll walk you through all of that, and we'll talk some stats too, and a whole lot more. That's coming up next. You're listening to Weather Weekly. This is the week ahead for January 12th, 2026. We'll go ahead and dive in here and walk you through the forecast, which, like I mentioned, we're going to get back to some January cold, although I think early on in this week, we kind of get like a last surge of these mild temperatures. I'm not going to, we're not talking 60s here like we had to end last week, but I mean, we're still well above average. Again, something to keep in mind, this week and next week really is on average the coldest stretch that we have in the entire year. Okay, when we have our average highs and lows, we only average a high of around 36 this time of year. Lows will be in the low 20s. So this is the coldest time of year. We're not going to be that cold, at least for Monday and Tuesday. I think both days should be fairly decent. So Monday, little breezy, okay, but mostly sunny. We'll have a nice recovery after some chilly temperatures in the morning into the 20s. I've got highs into the upper 30s and lower 40s. And again, it will be mostly sunny. We may be dealing with gusts 20 to 25, maybe 30 miles per hour. Not crazy windy, but notable as we go throughout the day. Okay. Monday night, partly cloudy, not as cold, still chilly, but not as cold. And lows will be right around freezing. The winds should ease up a bit as we head into the overnight. Tuesday is going to be the warmest day of this extended forecast, the last one, I think, for a little while, too. That's going to be ahead of our next system that's going to be coming in as early as Tuesday night. But I think the daytime hours will be dry, breezy winds on Tuesday, same as Monday. 25, maybe 30 mile per hour gusts. High temperatures will be around 50. We'll go partly cloudy to eventually mostly cloudy skies heading into the second half of your Tuesday. Now, we're going to be watching a cold front that will march through the Midwest and our state Tuesday night into Wednesday. And this is going to be kind of our transitional period, okay? We'll see an increasing coverage of rain showers first Tuesday night. Winds will likely pick up, okay? So unlike Monday night where the winds diminish, I think we're going to stay kind of breezy all night Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, all right? Temperatures are going to continue to fall close to freezing. I think mid-30s for a good chunk of the overnight, so most of this will be chilly rain, but at some point, and I think it happens on Wednesday, rain will change over to snow showers as colder air continues to move in. Highs will be in the low 40s. That may end up happening in the morning, and our numbers are going to kind of trail off throughout the day. Little to no snow accumulation, but gusty winds of 25 to 30 is going to make it feel much colder. We'll probably have wind chills in the teens and 20s for much of the day, okay? We'll have a secondary cold front that will bring a reinforcing shot of Arctic air, colder air coming down Wednesday night. That will also squeeze out some scattered snow showers, maybe some heavier bursts, very similar to what we had, let's say Saturday night into Sunday morning. Probably western parts of the state where we could get some bursts of snow that could accumulate. Where? Tough to gauge, like the exact location. I think the best location is going to be western half of the state. But in those exact locations in that section, tough to gauge. But do note that there will be some chances for maybe some brief accumulations in some spots. Definitely enough to make things slick for Thursday morning, so we'll keep an eye on it, okay? Nothing significant in terms of accumulation, though. Temperatures will then drop into the upper teens Wednesday night, and then we're going to be pretty cold, I think, for the end of the week and then heading into the weekend. So it's kind of back to at least standard January temperatures, maybe just a little bit below. Thursday, coldest wind chills of the week. All right. Morning chills will likely be in the single digits. We are going to be partly cloudy through much of our Thursday, maybe a little breezy. High temperatures will struggle on Thursday to maybe make it out of the 20s in many locations. And there could be a few flurries flying around as well. Friday, continued cold. We're mostly cloudy. There may be a few flurries and snow showers, kind of a weak disturbance that will slide through here. Highs will be actually into the mid 30s. We'll keep with that chance of snow showers late Friday night with lows into the lower 20s. The weekend right now, I am leaning toward just some kind of light snow showers Saturday morning. I mentioned the Friday night system could carry over into Saturday. There are two different model perspectives here. One wants to put maybe a little bit of accumulation down. The other is not putting a whole lot. All right. And the European is the one that's not putting a whole lot. And we usually put a little bit more trust in that in the wintertime than the American, the GFS model. It's just traditionally done much better in wintertime, and that trend continues this season as well. The GFS, the American model, wants to make more of a southern system and potentially putting snow even not just here in central Indiana, but down south as well. I'm not going to rule it out, but that's just kind of not what I'm favoring right now. So any snow that we would get for the weekend would likely be very light, and that's what I'm leaning with the European model. Okay, so no major snow or storm systems expected at this time, but high temperatures will be in the lower 30s for the weekend, which does put us a little bit below average for this time of year. National blend of models then, if you wanted to extend that into Sunday, because I do think even with the Euro, with that snow, that's going to bring another reinforcing shot of cold. Sunday's highs only in the mid-20s, and then lower 30s for Monday and Tuesday of next week. That'd be the 19th and 20th. So kind of hanging out with the cold. Okay, so that's where we stand. I've mentioned I do show this on social media if you actually want to see the European ensemble models. All right, so that is ensembles is just showing several model runs together, and what I like to do if we're talking, like a week out or more, is talk probabilities. And 1 inch of snow through next Sunday probabilities for, I'm zooming in here. I know I'm trying to do the audio for what should be a visual medium. But I do have this on my Facebook page if you want to check it out, Marcus Bailey Weather. It does have through, let's see, I'm going through Thursday there. I'm going to go ahead and just go to Sunday. And through the end of next weekend, it does have slightly better chances for about almost 100% chance for 1 inch of snow, but it does taper off to 20 to 30% for the northern half of the state through next Sunday if you're talking 3 inches of snow or higher. Okay? So that's just the regular European run. I tend to also enjoy looking at there's a new version because, we are all trending toward AI. The AI version for 1 inch of snow is much less aggressive. And I'll tell you, it hasn't really done bad this winter. And so I kind of lean into that one a little bit because it does, I don't want to dive in too deep, but it does, it factors in all the traditional things that we look at, but then AI is a learning mechanism. So it learns from mistakes that are made and all this other stuff. And for just 1 inch of snow through next Sunday, it has central Indiana in the 20 to 30% range. So that's a far cry from just the generic European ensemble that has it at 90 to 100%, right? So we'll see. But again, I want to stress, I don't see anything too significant through this week and into the weekend in terms of major snow, okay? We're going to be cold enough that if we get a few bursts here and there, it will make for some slick spots. But it doesn't look like we're going to be, getting the snow plows out anytime soon, at least not this week. But I do think we are, flipping the pattern here a little bit and getting to cold for the back half of January. And that's one of the first ingredients you need, obviously. And we may start to see a little bit more action here late for the month. And then we'll see what happens for the month of February as well. So sorry to kind of get a little long-winded, but I wanted to explain a little bit about those probabilities and that kind of stuff. Because I know a lot of things fly around on the internet, which is fine. I'm not going to dog anybody that does that kind of stuff. But just kind of where my thinking is at for the next several days. All right, we'll do some stats and a whole lot more. That's coming up next. You're listening to Weather Weekly. All right, let's look at some stats. Month of January now. We're knocking on the door of halfway home for the month of January. Snowfall, we did pick up about 0.3 of an inch from our weekend system. And so that's all we've received for the month. For the winter, since December 1st, it puts us just over 12 inches of snow. For the snow season, it puts us just about 15.5 inches of snow. We are on the plus side of 5 inches, 5.5 inches technically, from normal to date. To date, not full season, but to date. I wanted to stress that, okay? And we're still about 2.5, almost 3 inches above for the winter since December 1st. We're a little bit below average to date for January, which is typically one of the snowier months on record, okay? So that's where we stand right now. I did want to mention, just because of the mild temperatures that we had a couple of 60s late last week. It does to date, as well, I guess, up through the 10th. So the first 10 days of January, it does rank as the 20th warmest start to the month, and it is the warmest start since 2023, where we had some very mild days to start off the month of January. So there you go. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting, we'll have a couple more mild days early here, so that may help us bump a little bit, but then the bottom's going to drop out just a touch. All right. Let's go and do the, drought monitor real quick. That new update, we are still dealing with drought conditions through the northern third of the state. In fact, portions of, let's see, I'll call them out. Carroll, Howard, Cass, Miami, Grant, northern half of Tipton, northern third of Madison, much of Delaware, Blackford, all of Blackford, Jay, and Adams County, along with southeastern Allen, that'd be southeast of Fort Wayne, and parts of the eastern Wells County, all in an extreme drought. All right. Marion County included in a severe drought, as is much of the northern, basically areas north of I-70, with the exception of the counties I listed off. Southern Metro is in an abnormally dry status, so you're a little bit better off. And then you go in the southern third of the state, you are free and clear of a drought. So not good. We could use some more snow. That's going to help the drought situation a little bit. Even with all the snow that we picked up in December, and even some of the rain that we've had in burst, the second half of December and even, here early in January has not really helped our drought situation much. Okay. And unfortunately, those areas, especially in the northern third of the state, the forecast calls for the drought to persist. It's not going to be a good situation if we start walking into the spring and we're already starting off behind the 8-ball with drought conditions. All right. So that's the status on that. quickly. Doesn't look like we're going to get much help over the next 8 to 14 days. Near normal temperatures for the dates of January 8th through the 24th. Near normal precipitation, which, again, not a terrible thing in January because, again, it's one of the snowier months that we have. But it doesn't look like it's going to be crazy active. Just kind of your standard. We'll be getting, dodging some snow chances here and there over that 2-week period. All right. The 3 to 4 week outlook. This would be the 24th to take us into early February 6th. Below average temperatures across the Midwest and New England, and no strong signals either way for precipitation in that stretch. Okay, so that's where we stand. That'll do it for this week's podcast and forecast. Always appreciate your time. You can shoot me an email anytime, marcus.bailey@wishtv.com. You can also follow me on all the major platforms on social media, X, Instagram, Facebook is where I'm very active, and then TikTok as well. Marcus Bailey Weather on Facebook. It's at Marcus Bailey, I think, for all the other platforms there. So I hope to see you there. You can shoot me a message. I'm usually pretty quick to respond. And a lot of the stuff that I brought up here, you can see in kind of a visual form on my Facebook page, especially there. You can also get my forecast on the TV side, Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Daybreak, Wish TV. In Central Indiana, Channel 8 locally, and of course, wishtv.com. Click the live stream button. You can also get our forecast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, wishtv.com/weather, and our free Storm Track 8 weather app. While you're here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have a wonderful week. We will talk to you soon, and God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.